Welcome back to Shipyard. Today we are talking about the Tal'Kir from the Vulcan ship. It was a blind booster in the Resistance is Futile organized play, so not everyone has it. It is not available through retail at all. However, I thought it was a decent ship and something worth taking a look at. It has base stats of 3154, a 180-degree forward firing arc, and a 90-degree rear. But most importantly is the named ability. Each time you defend during the modified defense dice step of the combat phase, you may add one evade result to your roll. If you do so, place one auxiliary power token beside your ship. The important thing to note here is that you can do this multiple times per turn if you are attacked by different ships or in different attacks. So if you're attacked by 3 different ships, you could negate a damage from each ship using this ability. Of course, you'd have 3 auxiliary power tokens, and that is a severe drawback because you won't be able to take actions for 3 turns, and you'll be stuck doing green maneuvers to try to clear them off. But if you want a ship that can be really annoying to kill, the Tal'Kir might be something worth looking at with 9 total durability. Looking at the generic, 24 points, base stats of 3153, 1 tech, 1 weapon, 1 crew. The nice thing is that you still get that 180-degree forward firing arc, so you have a decent band of coverage. You have all the slots you want to be able to customize this however you want, so I think it's a decent platform. Like all blind boosters, there is one named captain. For this pack, we have Solok, skill 6, 1 talent. You may perform an evasive maneuver or scan action as a free action each round. If you do so, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. Not useful at all on the Tal'Kir because most of the time you're going to have auxiliary power from the named ability. However, on a ship like the ISS Avenger that thrives on auxiliary power, it's great. Still, being able to double up and get evade scan, evade battle stations, something like that, at the cost of an auxiliary power token, is okay. Of course, captains like Picard, Ducat, Spock, that give you those extra actions without the drawback, but Solok is still somebody that's nice to have for the Vulcans, and not a terrible captain overall. For our elite talent, we have Vulcan Logic, 4 points. During the roll defense dice step of the combat phase, you may discard this card to roll 2 extra defense dice. If you do so during the modified defense dice step, you may re-roll any number of your defense dice. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Vulcan captain assigned to a Vulcan ship. My first instinct here is using lore on a cloaked ship like the Scimitar to get around the faction restriction. However, that's only going to save you 1 time, so ultimately this card is a gamble. The nice thing is that you get to see what your opponent has rolled for their attack before you have to decide whether or not to use this. So there is a benefit there. I can see it as kind of a last gasp, needing to roll extra dice, saying, well, why not? But even then, I'd probably try to find other ways to get extra defense dice like Sulu, Paris, Woodriker, Shelby, stuff like that. The nice thing is you could add this in and have a talent for those defense dice as well as all the crew. So there's a piece to that. But ultimately this card is only worth existing because it's a talent and not crew. Speaking of crew, we have Call. Action, discard this card to repair up to 2 damage to your ship's hull or shields. Well, this is another one that I like, but not on the Tal'Kir herself. I like it on just about anything else that isn't getting a ton of auxiliary power tokens. Being able to repair 2 damage is huge. I love shield regeneration. 4 points is a little expensive for it. Action discard is pricey, but I don't mind the trade-off of an action for 2 repair. So Cog's okay. There's a lot of ways to reduce the cost of crew. The independent Klingon fleet captain, Christopher Pike. The Sakharov reduces the cost of crew. So there's ways around overall cost. So if you're looking for a repair crew member, I'd give Kov a look. For a weapon, we get Photonic Weapon. 4 attack dice, range 2 to 3. You must have a target lock, then you spend it, disable the card to perform the attack. You may re-roll all of your blank results one time, and you can fire it from your forward or rear arcs. This is a card that's actually decent, especially for the Vulcans. Getting 4 dice at range 2 to 3, negating that range 3 bonus, can be good. I don't mind the target lock terribly because you're getting to re-roll your blanks, which is what you're doing most of the time anyways, especially if you already have a battle station token. You'll still want to find some way to make sure that you can make this weapon hit for all that it's worth. So you'll want Martok in your fleet to give this ship a second action, or a captain that can give you a second action, like maybe Spock, so that you get battle stations and target lock. But it's still nice to have an extra attack die at range 2 to 3, be able to go in there, hit hard. Plus having a rear firing weapon gives you 270 degrees of coverage. That leaves you with a lot fewer blind spots, and this ship does not make hard turns, except on red maneuvers. And a rear coverage can save you a lot. So for 4 points, definitely something that's worth a look. Not on a super high tournament level, but something on a mission play, casual play, occasional tournament play, just something to look out for. The last card in this pack is Power Grid. It's a tech, 2-point, non-unique. Whenever you are supposed to place an auxiliary power token beside your ship, you may disable this card instead. This is a great card. For 2 points, being able to disable a card and not take auxiliary power, wonderful. The only downside is that it takes up your tech slot, and there is a lot of decent tech in the game. But if you're running the Independent Dominion fleet captain that reduces the cost of tech, this is almost a must-play if you're running a Vulcan ship, especially if you're running the Tal'Kir, because then you're getting a damage negation for free in the game. Well, a damage negation for 2 points, but it's essentially for free, for 1 point with the discount. And that's a really good trade-off. Still, my favorite use of Power Grid is probably putting it on the Scimitar, so that you can come about one time, not take the aux, still have your actions, be able to go in there. But really, Power Grid can go on anything, especially Klingons that want to come about, maybe Dominion ships that want to do hard turns that are red. I'm thinking Keldon classes especially, maybe the battle cruiser that has that come about. Dideradics that want to reverse. Most reverse maneuvers are red, so being able to pull some of those tricky maneuvers and still have your actions can be a great trick up your sleeve. So overall, the Tal'Kir is a ship that I think is really worth getting for 2 reasons. One, the ship herself is great. Not tournament level great, but just really fun to have. Certainly scenario play, organized play, fun, depends on the mission, but she can be worthwhile. And Power Grid is a wonderful card. The other cards range from playable to situational to not so good. But a blind booster that gives you 2 to 3 good cards is something that's worthwhile, I think. So that is the Tal'Kir. I hope that this video has been informative. I hope that you've been able to learn how to better utilize something from this pack in your fleet. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Ask questions, tell me what you want to see next. Until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, guys.